Have you ever looked at a movie and thought, there's no way a place like that could exist in real life? Well, today, we're going to a place that will absolutely blow your mind. A real-life Pandora, with stone pillars so tall and so strange, they inspired one of the biggest movies of all time.
So let's just get right to it. Are those incredible floating Hallelujah mountains from James Cameron's Avatar real? The answer is kinda. Yeah, they were directly inspired by a place on Earth that is, honestly, maybe even more spectacular than what you saw on screen.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with that Hollywood hook, the Avatar connection. Then we'll dive into the park's history. It was famous long before the movies. We'll get into the wild science of how these pillars even formed, touch on a pretty heated debate, and finally, I'll take you there so you can feel what it's like to experience this otherworldly place.
Okay, so first things first. How on earth did a remote spot in China end up as the blueprint for an alien moon in a Hollywood blockbuster?
Well, it all started with one photographer's trip. It was back in 2008. A Hollywood photographer visited China's Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. And the photos he brought back were just insane. These massive sandstone spires looked so alien, so impossible, that they became the direct visual inspiration for Pandora. And just like that, a real-world wonder was linked forever to a cinematic one.
And this quote from BBC Travel just nails it, right? It's not just that the pillars are huge, it's the atmosphere. When the fog rolls in and swirls around the base of these stone giants, they genuinely look like they're floating. It's that eerie, magical feeling that makes them seem like they're defying gravity, just like in the movie.
But here's the thing. Zhangjiajie was a big deal long before Hollywood came knocking. Its story is so much deeper and richer than just being a film location. So let's rewind the clock a bit.
Yeah, way before Avatar, this place was already getting major recognition. In 1982, it officially became China's very first national forest park. 10 years later, UNESCO designated it a World Heritage Site. This isn't just a pretty backdrop, it's a globally recognized natural treasure.
And the scale of this place is just staggering. Try to picture this. You're standing in a forest, but instead of trees, you're surrounded by over 3,000 sandstone pillars, and many of them are over 400 meters high. That's taller than the Empire State Building. It's a landscape that just makes you feel tiny.
Now, the pillars are definitely the main event, but they're not the only thing to see. The whole area is known for its 5 wonders. You've got the spectacular peaks, of course, but you also have these unique, bizarre rock formations, quiet and secluded valleys, crystal clear streams and lakes, and deep, mysterious caves. It's the whole package.
So, the big question is, how? How does a landscape that looks like it was designed by a sci-fi artist actually come into being? The answer is a pretty amazing geological story that, believe it or not, scientists are still debating.
Okay, so the technical term is a quartz sandstone landform, but what does that really mean? Basically, it means this place was carved, not dissolved. The main force at play was good old-fashioned physical erosion. Think about water getting into tiny cracks in the rock. In the winter, that water freezes, expands, and acts like a wedge, splitting the rock apart, over and over. And you've also got plants whose roots push into cracks, forcing them wider. It's nature's own slow-motion demolition crew.
The classic explanation for how this happened is pretty epic. First, you have to imagine an ancient ocean floor getting shoved way up into the sky by massive tectonic forces. As it rose, the sandstone cracked into a grid of vertical fractures. Then, for millions of years, erosion got to work, chipping away at all the softer rock and leaving behind these incredible hard pillars we see today.
But wait, the story gets even cooler. Some geologists now think that's not the whole picture. There's a newer, innovative theory that suggests this might have happened much faster, driven by deep forces from within the Earth. This new idea helps explain some of the weirder things, like why the pillars are so geometrically regular. So the science is still evolving, which is pretty exciting.
All right, so let's shift from geology to a very human drama. Because when Avatar made this place world famous, it kicked off a huge debate about culture, money, and what it means to protect a natural treasure.
So here's how it went down. The movie becomes a global phenomenon. Park officials, seeing a massive opportunity, hold a big ceremony and officially rename one of the most famous peaks, the Southern Sky Column, to the Avatar Hallelujah Mountain. And the reaction from the Chinese public online? It was immediate and it was furious.
This comment really captures the feeling. A lot of people felt like their culture was being sold out for a quick buck. They saw it as a total disgrace, trading a name with deep local history for a name from a foreign movie. To them, it felt like a betrayal of their heritage.
But the park officials saw it very differently. Their argument was, hey, we're not getting rid of the old name, we're just adding a nickname. They argued that the connection to Avatar was something to be proud of and that it would bring in tourism and money to a region that had historically been quite poor. It was a classic clash between culture and commercialism. Okay, enough of the debates and the geology. Let's talk about what it's actually like to be there. What does it feel like to stand among those stone giants? Let's take a trip to the Real-Life Pandora. Your adventure might start on something called the Beilong Elevator. And this isn't just any elevator. It's the world's tallest outdoor elevator, and it's literally bolted onto the side of a massive cliff. It shoots you 326 meters straight up in about a minute. The views are just unbelievable. It's a heck of a way to start your day. And the thrills don't stop there. The park has all these walkways and bridges, and some of them have see-through metal grate floors. This quote from a visitor pretty much sums it up. The feeling is a mix of total awe and sheer terror. It's an experience that will definitely get your heart pumping.
Now, if you're planning a trip, a few quick tips. Definitely have a translator app on your phone. Use the free buses. The park is enormous. You'll find food everywhere, from local snacks to, yes, a McDonald's on top of a mountain. And if the main spots are too crowded, don't worry. Just take a side trail and you can find some peace and quiet. Oh, and be ready for stairs. So many stairs.
But hey, if the thousands of steps get to be too much for your legs, there's a solution. You can actually hire a sedan chair, and 2 porters will carry you up the path. It's a pretty surreal sight, and honestly, a lifesaver for tired legs. And that really gets to the heart of what Zhangjiajie is today. It's this incredible, ancient natural wonder that's also a highly developed tourist machine. It's a place of breathtaking beauty, but also a place with elevators, buses, and fast food. It's a fascinating paradox. Which leaves us with this one big question to think about. What really happens when a natural wonder becomes a global superstar? Does the spotlight help protect it? Or does it start to chip away at what made it special in the first place? For Zhangjiajie, the answer is still being written, among those misty, magnificent peaks.